Hello disc golfers, this is Matt Dollar and I'm here today with a little bit of coverage from the 2017 Titan Disc Golf Open in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. This was filmed by Martin Murray. Martin's first time filming any disc golf, did a pretty good job, and I did the editing. So we're going to go ahead and take you over to Wildcat Bluff Disc Golf Course, one of the best courses in the Midwest, and I believe the #1 ranked course in all of Iowa. This was the 4th year I've played this Titan Disc Golf A tier, and the 3rd year I believe that we have played Wildcat. So leading off will be Jesse Kirk, a local. He's sponsored by Prodigy Disc, and he'll be followed up by James Conrad III. James Conrad is on a hot streak this year. He throws for End of a Champion. Hole 1's 420 feet across this valley, so you don't have the ceiling to get there with an air shot, really. Roller's about the only way, but it's still a pretty tricky shot, and if you do turn it over too much, you can go into the creek. You see, well, you can't really see it, but it's over there to the right of Jesse. So everyone went roller. Mine was way early, and so I had to do some scrambling. James is the only one that kind of has a long look. Not exactly what I'd call on the green, but he's a great putter, so you never know. He might can those. I'm putting with the classic blend Judge here, and I'm able to save my par. Bunch of threes on hole number 1, and we'll move to hole 2, 388 feet, par 4. That is a thumber with the moonshine spark. Looks a lot like a sidearm because I throw it on a big sidearm angle. You're probably thinking 388 feet doesn't sound like much of a par 4, but this one is like a complete 90-degree right turn. James Conrad looked like he was getting really aggressive, trying to do something nasty there. Speaking of nasty, his second shot was pretty good. Hit some kind of tree, though. So Jesse was a little early off the tee, but he still had a sidearm window and throws a great shot. I will also be left with that sidearm window. And JC3 will be putting for his birdie. He just tickles the front chain on these beautiful orange Mach X's. So Wildcat actually had homemade baskets until this year, but they are the same color as these Mach X's, so huge improvement here with the Mach X baskets. Great catching device. We move to hole 3, 225 feet. I go with that thumber on the sidearm angle again, and you're going to see Jesse throw a sidearm. Now, I noticed there's been some talk about James Conrad never throwing sidearm, especially in that Idlewild victory, but here he is throwing a sidearm, and it's a pretty nice one, too. He went with the Glow Firebird there, and it's not the only sidearm you're going to see James throw in this video. James is a master of the backhand, but when you're playing in woods this thick, sometimes you have to throw other shots. So hole 4, 490 feet, par 4, turns to the left. Might even be a little longer. This is actually a new pin. They just pushed it a little further back than the old pin. Tough hole, though. I've definitely taken a 5 on this one before in the tournament. So it's really just all about hitting that first gap and trying to get around the corner as much as possible. Everyone threw a really nice drive, and James has thrown a very nice upshot. Got a little cut roll, but should be putting for the birdie. And Jesse's thrown a good-looking sidearm here, which will also give him a chance at birdie. Now, I felt like I had a chance for the hot start here, but just threw a bad thumber on the second shot. I should have went with something less stable because it takes less room to pan from right to left. So Jesse's going to miss his birdie putt. James is not going to like his putt too much, but it goes in for the birdie. And Jesse and myself will take pars. We'll move on to hole 5, 323 feet, par 3. Turns hard left. You really want to go in front of those trees that James went around. I tried to go the super flippy disc on a lot of hyzer. I went with a hatchet. James actually told me that he was trying to go around the trees. He just wanted to go backside with the driver and hope to get a skip left. So everyone plays this one a little differently. I actually got stuck in a really bad spot here. This is one of those holes where if I just threw like a putter or mid off the tee as a placement shot, not trying to get the birdie, then it would be an easy 3, but kind of jammed myself up there and was forced to throw a weird sidearm with a flippy disc out. Pretty cool little angle we have right here watching James's putt. He's kind of trapped in the woods, but he has some kind of look at the birdie. And he goes with that Anheuser look. It's funny, I've been seeing James throw these big Anheuser putts from time to time. They're looking pretty good. He's such a diverse player for a guy who throws almost all backhand. Because of that, he knows how to throw them on every angle. So we're going to move to hole number 6, 515 feet, par 4. This one is another hole where you just got to land in the fairway. I went with the EMAC Truth. Caught a little bit of lettuce, but I'm still in the fairway. I don't know if you were able to see James's shot, but it went way right. And Jesse throws what looks like the best shot ever here, but right as the camera cut off there, I don't know if you saw it, it actually skipped up, hit a tree, and took off rolling into the woods. So, really bad break for Jesse. I'm going Fluid Enforcer here on this sidearm. Needed something crazy overstable, and that is the disc. So this is what Jesse's left with after after throwing a really, really good looking drive. Just that unfortunate roll put him in a tough spot, but he's still going to have a look at the birdie 3. Here's that sidearm, that James Conrad underrated sidearm. When he throws it good, but you don't see him in situations where he has to throw it too often. So I'm going to look at the birdie 3 here. Got a downhill look from just outside the circle, and a great catch from the Mach X basket. Thank you, beautiful catching device. Jesse will make his comebacker. So I'll grab the only 3 there, and the other guys will settle for par. We move to hole number 7. You see the big tree in the middle? You really want to throw a putter mid straight at that tree and have it hyzer just so softly in front of it. Tough hole. I actually went outside that tree with the Truth. Yep. Did not mean to, but JC3 shows you what the shot's supposed to look like on this hole. Oh man alive. Jesse throws a beautiful looking shot, but it is just a hair to the right, so it catches that tree. Still give him a long birdie look. So JC3 with the only one still left looking at birdie. And he does grab that birdie. He was not so sure about that putt either. Jesse's stuck in a weird spot here, but makes a nice putt. So we'll move to hole 8. This is hole 8 and hole 3 are the must-get holes on this course. They both just set up so nicely for a thumber or a sidearm, but they're just short, and you got to get them. I went with that hatchet thumber there. If you notice, there's a teepee back there. You can see it just in front of Jesse there on the left. So if you throw it dead straight off the tee, you will actually end up in the teepee, and that could stop you from getting this must-get birdie. But nothing was going to stop us 3. We all got the birdie here on hole number 8. And we moved to hole 9, one of the most difficult par 3s here. I did a little pirouette off the tee and threw a bad shot, and it's going to go left. Jesse doesn't throw the best drive either, but he kicks more towards the fairway. Should have a chance at saving. I just threw a little tree climber there, and I'm going to be forced into the sidearm Cenas touchy upshot just to try and save a par. See if Jesse can throw a good sidearm here and save his par. Oh, rather, I'll be trying to save a bogey because this is a par 3. So JC3 is in a weird spot. He's not very far from the pin, but he jump putts that right into a tree. On a course like this, it's hard to get some of the birdies, but you really just don't want to give away any extra strokes with a bogey. Oh man, he puts a pretty good effort on that downhill straddle putt and just hits a little front left chains. So there's Jesse with the putt for the only par on the hole, and JC3 and myself will both take bogeys, and we'll move on to hole number 10, 408 feet, par 3, turns incredibly hard to the right. It's called a par 3, but this one's more of a par 4 than a few of the others. There's no doubt about that. I'm going with a convict sidearm, straighten it out.
Oh yeah.
Definitely got a beautiful kick there though. This hole is just all about landing in the fairway so that you can then try and put your second shot down near that basket, because it is a straight downhill shot here. Camera doesn't quite do it justice. Me and James Conrad mentioned something on this hole about this being like a tiki hole from the Grange, because we camp at the Grange together every year. So that little downhill second shot was just a tiki hole. Don't go for the ace, just play for the par. Alright, last hole of the round, probably the signature hole here at Wildcat. Coming in just under 500 feet, downhill through a tight tunnel and the valley between you and the basket. That was an amazing shot by Jesse. This hole is so hard. I've never twoed it. I'd never seen anyone two it before this tournament. But I mean, it is there. It's just really hard because the ceiling is low for, since you're throwing over the valley and you're throwing downhill, but you're throwing into a lower ceiling, so it's really hard to keep the height on the disc if you do happen to hit the perfect line. So I was able to get to the other side. I'm going to try to hit a little chip in here with the Cenis. And late deflecto branch is going to give me about a 30-foot rollback to try and save the bird.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, choo-choo train. Let's catch a replay of Jesse putting for the eagle here. And he throws a beautiful line, catches right side on the Mach X. Great hole from Jesse. And now James Conrad, the third, will also have the chance for the eagle here. And he goes into a big Anheuser move. And he will drain the eagle too. And so I'm still left here with the chance at the birdie. And let's see if we can sneak this birdie in here. Everyone seems to be having a pretty good round, and right here at the midway point, those guys both picking up that eagle is huge. So thank you guys for watching. I don't have the scorecards from this event, so there's no scores with it, but I will try to put up the other half as soon as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching, and check back for more Matt Dollar Disc Golf.